Got me wash, pick that thing, pick that thing, pick that thing. Yo, she got her hands up on her knees and then her balls up on her. Medusa look back and they froze up on her. So I'ma beat it up, top notch, I'ma beat it up. Sugar, I'm holding tight. Backdrop, baby, you know I'm right with you. Tell me when you're rolling right. Pill popping and you know I'm right. I can make your girl realize if she can see the world in my eyes. Now it won't choke, woman, that's your headache. Told her go head home with the no fair face. Can you dig it? Love, I don't even really need the digits.
Welcome back. It's me, Vanglorious. Great to have you again. So, as you can read by the title, I went somewhere. And I normally don't go to this show, but a special car was there that I wanted to see. Check it out. Soft touch, leather, suede. Engine start stop. Sticker rev match, heated seats, hatch release, cubby, space in the back, the gauges. The digital dash is beautiful. The wheel is nice too. Everything about this is really nice. I have plenty of space here on the inside for my head, so that's pretty cool too. I'm keeping this short and sweet because I don't have a lot of time in here. The blue touch, everything is nice. I really like this. This is like so me. Nice. The knobs, everything feels cool. G-force, upshift indicator, tire pressure, boost. This is really something. I can't wait to get into these. So a lot of you could guess that was probably the one thing I mostly went for, but I was most surprised on basically to get a real sense of what the car looked like in real life, because it's something that I definitely do want. And I think a lot of times when we see something before we see it in real life, we judge it super harshly, especially if you're looking at it from different angles, or sometimes PR doesn't really show cars at the best angle, but the most marketable angle, and you don't get all of those angles until you see them in person. And the Supra is the biggest thing I could tell you guys. That was a car that was like that for me. When I first saw it online, I thought it was cool looking, but I didn't find the front like sexy. Like I was just like, that front is pretty whack. And then I saw it in person and I said, yo, that shit's actually fire. There is a part of me that's not super excited and over the moon, because I'm gonna be very frank with you guys. The way this market is set up right now and how Nissan's kind of handling this whole rollout of the car, where there's not that much information, but there's a whole bunch of test cars all over the US and some in Canada. It's kind of like, all right. I know people are really gonna want this car. I'm sure it's gonna do great like most Z cars do, but I'm kind of like taken back because there's gonna be a lot of demand and people keep bothering dealerships about this vehicle. So I know the markup on them is gonna be significant. So what's supposed to be in the $40,000 range, as they would say, starting at around $40,000, I feel like it's gonna be more closer to $50,000. And if you're not someone who's rolling in money, yeah, it's, $10,000 is a big deal. If you're thinking it's gonna be closer to $50,000 instead, that's like $5,000 less than a Supra. My first impression when I did see it, the blue is nice. It's not really a color that I would go for. I know I've talked about my color combo preference and whatnot, but just in case you didn't see that, I really would like to do the white on the outside, the Everest white pearl tri-coat, and then the blue interior. And the interior is obviously the leather suede. I believe that's going to be a performance trim to get that combo, but that's kind of what I'm going for, so I can recreate the Glacier memory of my first car, my 1986 300ZX. Not too crazy about the blue on the outside. See the yellow in the back? You can actually see that there's flake in that yellow, which is cool, but that yellow is still very off-putting, and I honestly wouldn't want to have two yellow vehicles. There has to be a different color in this lineup. At least for me, my personal lineup, I really would not like to repeat colors. That's just not something. I'm not one of those, oh, yellow cars only or red cars only. Like, that's kind of weird. Just mix it up. I think as an alternative, a black with red interior would also be really nice. I feel like since there's not going to be a configurative choice where you can just order whatever it is, it's going to be whatever Nissan sends to a dealer. So it's basically first come, first serve, and whatever they decide to do is whatever they decide to do. Maybe at least for the first couple of 100 orders or something like that, until they can actually, you know, keep up with demand and build cars and then go, hey, your car comes in 2-3 months. But if I want to be one of like the early adopters of the vehicle, I'm basically going to have to pick from a bag. So to speak. So that's kind of where I'm gunning for. That's kind of why I had two options that I was thinking about. But I'm still going to be open-minded because the situation with the market and trying to find a dealer that's not going to be charging markup is going to be very difficult, because they're all going to have the same people that have, you know, called around and did this, that, and the third to try and secure one. These people with the security deposits, you know, like, there's no pre-orders for it. So those people are either going to get screwed or they'll luck up and they'll be able to say, hey, I got mine for MSRP, I only deposited $1,000 and it worked out for me. But between me and you, I highly doubt that's gonna work out great for them. But best of luck to whoever's doing that. Outside of the color combination and materials and this, that, and the third, I think the second thing that I was very excited to see is the actual stance of the vehicle. So I kind of like how the ride height of it looked. It looks fine. It looks wider than the Supra, which is kind of neat. It's different, but it was also more spacious on the inside. The only thing I wasn't too happy about was the trunk space seemed a little bit too too narrow. Like, your storage isn't as deep as it is in the Supra. Like, I can deceivingly fill up the Supra with a lot of stuff. Like, I have no fears about going to pick up a whole bunch of groceries or maybe taking a couple of medium-sized boxes. Like, that's not a problem in that car. I take the tonneau cover off, I leave it home, and you know, I can fill it up, I can close the hatch, and everything is good. No fussing, no fighting with the trunk space. Everything is cool with that. So I do enjoy that. But to see that it's kind of lackluster on the Z is kind of a disappointment, but it's not like a huge selling point for me. So I'm not going, oh, well, I'm not going to get this car because the trunk space is garbage. Like, that's not really what the vehicle's for. Another thing I really liked is, I know everyone loves the back of the vehicle. A lot of people are like, yo, that front, gonna do something with it. The back is the business. I do love the front a lot. I'm actually really cool with the front. Minimally, I think a lip. Just add a lip. That's about it. I mean, I don't think the front really needs anything. Like, to me, I think the front looks, it's good. You have to see it in person to appreciate it, because in pictures, the front is very like lackluster. You have to see it in person. So before you judge the front, go look at it in person. I guarantee you, you're obviously gonna see the S30 influence of the first generation Z. You're gonna see that, and you're gonna understand that, okay, this actually works. The hood actually looks just fine. Like, it looks good. So, like I said, go see it in person. Now for the back looks great. Wouldn't change a thing. Even with the spoiler that comes on it, honestly, if it's body colored, like I saw it, cool. If there's an option to have a black tail, that's fine. Like a duck tail or something like that, we'll love that. That's cool. Either way, I think the way the back looks is great. Most likely wouldn't change a thing, but you know, the aftermarket is going to do their thing with this car, so let's just see what happens. But overall, I'm really happy with how the car looks. Another thing will probably be the Katana. So a lot of people talk about the Katana, which I'll show. Most likely you're looking at it right now while I'm talking. So I like the Katana design. Would I change it to black? That's up in the air. If the car is already black, if I end up with a black one, then yeah, maybe. But if I end up with white, I might just keep it how it is. I don't know. It's a tough decision. I do think it's a nice feature of the car. Well, not like a feature, but it's a nice accent on the car. It's the fact that they even call it the katana. I think that's cool. It's just an arch, but you know, it's the shape of a katana. Like, I kind of like that they kind of pointed that out. They're like, hey, this is a katana. Like, look at here. And I'm like, yo, that's dope. So it's like more Japanese, like kind of cultural influence in the vehicle, and I think that's awesome. So yeah, katana gets more points for me now that I'm seeing it in real life. On top of that, I think the only other thing that I was like super happy about, the dashboard. So I was already like over the moon about the dashboard. Seeing it in person, I was like, yo, I love this. So the whole digital dash is really nice. From what I was able to just see, because it's just on, you can cycle through some things. As you can see, I'll start showing you right here. You were able to see a couple of different screens like tire pressure, boost gauge, a couple other things. But you know, like it's really nice, and I like that the whole thing is digital dash. It's a throwback to, you know, one or two of my Z cars that had digital dash, so I'm still super thrilled about that. Very excited. Like, I'm not getting one without one. I gotta have it. Other things for the interior, I like that it seemed spacious. Like I said before, it seemed pretty spacious. It's more spacious than the Supra, I'm saying. Is it as spacious as the 86? Probably a little less, because there's no seats in the back. But I think that, I don't know, I have a good feeling about the car. I like how it felt just sitting in it. It just felt like a nice place to be. That's really the gist of my Z experience. Now, the only other place I was hovering around for a little bit was Toyota. I didn't expect to see a manual Supra there, because it's not really announced. It's like 90% of the way announced. Cool things, like they had the Targa top Supra there, and like that was always cool to see. That's like another thing, like it's that and the manual Supra. Like if they drop tomorrow, I'm still not selling mine. I'm super happy with the ZF8 transmission that's in the car. It's honestly super quick, and it's really mated well to the characteristic of the vehicle. Is it gonna be fun for a lot of people who get, a manual Supra? Hell yeah, they're gonna have a great time. I'm more excited for them. My personal choice is just, I'm happy with it. So I feel as though when you're happy with something, you wanna see other people happy. So everybody who, if this transmission stopped them from buying the vehicle, and now that it's going to be available, for the amount of people that said, oh, before it became manual, this is your time to shine. Also bumped into the new 8.6 when I was there. I saw the new WRX. Okay, so the 8.6. Seeing it in person for the first time, I was like, damn, this is really nice. So I do believe everybody who was saying that, hey, like the new 8.6 is nice, and it's got this, it's got that. I got to sit in that, and I was like, dude, this feels like 30 times better in an interior. Like, I was super stoked to sit in that. I was like, because I haven't seen one in person. I've seen a BRZ in person, but I haven't sat in one. But I've been dying to see a new 8.6. And I could just go to a dealer and, fiddle around with it there, but I don't want to be bothered with the questions and the calls and this and that. Like, sometimes you just want to see something on your own time, and I thought this was one of the best opportunities to do it. So I'm definitely feeling the new 8.6. So like, now that I've seen it in person, and I've seen it in the red, because I really like the red, I wanted to go for that if I was going to upgrade. And that's really it. Like I said, the show itself wasn't super exciting, but to see those, couple cars that really have taken my interest, it was really nice to get the time to get some personal time with them, so I can kind of have a better opinion about them, or decide if I really still want one or not. And that goes for the 8.6 and the Z. So obviously I still want both, but really you have to choose one. So I'm leaning towards the Z, obviously. So with that in mind, I can't wait to get one. And I guess if there's more information, I'll probably share it here. But for now, it's just kind of, we're all doing the same thing, just waiting for it to hit a dealership and really waiting to see what the price is, because without a real price attached to the vehicle, a lot of us are still just playing the waiting game and hoping that it's still the same, around 40,000 that Nissan says. So what do you guys think? Do you think this new Z is actually pretty cool? Do you like it better? Did you get a chance to go to an auto show to check it out? Why don't you leave a comment down below? Also, what do you think of the 8.6 BRZ? And also, what do you think of this whole manual news about the Supra? I know there's some other stuff that's rumored, you know, like a M3, M4 engine in it, the GRMN Supra, but we'll touch that again in another video when there's more concrete information, if it's happening or not. But either way, let me know what you think down in that box down below. It's Vanglorious. Be safe. Take care. P.S. That GL Corolla is sick though. I don't care what anybody says. Yo, that car is sick. That is very sick. If money was not an issue and I could get 2 extra cars, GL Corolla and a Z. Done deal. I just wanted to put that. P.S. GL Corolla is sick. Alright, peace.